Sieg to snap it. Cole to hold it. 22-yard attempt. Daniel Carlson. Carlson, that's a winner! Viva Las Vegas! The Raiders are 3-0 for the first time in 19 years.
Viva Las Vegas. That's right, another thriller in overtime as the Raiders beat the Miami Dolphins. Welcome into Raiders Game Day, presented by America First Credit Union. You know who I am, Erin Coscarelli, but it's my friends we really care about. Of course, Eric Allen, my shutdown corner. Marcel, Reece, it's good to have you back, my fullback. Lots to talk about. First of all, you saw what they said right there. Raiders stay undefeated, gentlemen. I need instant perspective on what you saw tonight.
Fighting spirit, EC. Fighting spirit. That's what we saw out there. Through all of the controversy and misplays, we came up with a big W against another quality football team and the Miami Dolphins. And again, I just say fighting spirit for these guys on all sides of the ball. What about Carlson? Boom. Come on. Right there. Money every time.
Nothing like having every time. Kicker on the sideline like that. Come on, EA, you know that.
Clutch.
Listen, it is hard to win football games in the National Football League. So when you come out here as a team, as a young football team, and you start out 3-0, and you put on a show like that for your fans at home, there is no substitution for that. But guess what? The victory's short-lived because we got another one next week.
On to the Chargers. We have a lot to talk about with that. But we also have a lot to talk about right now. Here is what's on tap for you folks at home. Of course, the Raiders with a big rally at home. Can't wait to talk all about that. Of course, we've got player and coach reaction from Allegiant and a halftime Hall of Fame celebration for Tom Flores. So much to talk about. But first, the Raider Nation celebrating. Raiders are 3-0 for the first time since 2002. You heard what the radio call said. It seems as though John Gruden's master plans are finally taking place. Are you guys seeing what's happening? Are you picking up what Coach Gruden putting down?
19 years, that's a long time ago.
Yes.
Okay. And it's 20 years since I've been on the football field, right? Okay. That's a long time. But this team reminds me a lot of those teams. A good mix of veterans, good mix of leadership, coaching philosophy. You got in the right players at the right spot, got depth because of all the injuries. Wow, this team is really performing at a very high level in certain aspects of the game. And it's not perfect yet, but we're always progressing in the right spot.
This team is definitely coming together, starting to gel together, and it takes time. But it's always great to start to learn on wins and not losses. This is a great start, an unbelievable start for this young football team, and I'm excited to see what happens down the stretch.
Ooh, well, I'm excited to show you folks at home how it started and how it ended. Let's take you through the first half highlights coming your way as the Raiders head back home to take on the Dolphins. First quarter we go. 2nd and 8. It's Hunter Renfrow time. I just call him Mr. Moving the Chains.
Hey, man, he's just Renfrow on everybody. I mean, the route, the separation. And this is what I love. The young guy that run after the catch, big physical receiver. Back up.
Now, he's not playing. That is a grown man catching the ball, EA.
2 plays later, Elandon Roberts with the pick 6, putting the Dolphins on the board first. You don't want to see that.
Yeah, and that's something we don't want to see, the miscommunication there. And obviously, you got to get that corrected so you don't have these hiccups early in the game.
Right, absolutely. It's just a perfect turn of events for the Miami Dolphins, unfortunately.
Didn't have much coming at you from the run game. A couple of stuffed plays right there. But Malcolm Brown with the touchdown.
Integrity.
Yeah.
We can't have 2 or 3 guys in the same gap, right? So we just kind of gave away 2 touchdowns right there.
3rd and 10. You know what that means, right, guys? Hunter Renfrow time.
Listen.
That's all I'm saying. First down.
That looks spectacular, but that was an unbelievable catch.
Hold on a second.
Hey. They're trying to throw a screen on the old guy. He just read it, back foot in the ground, break on the ball, make the tackle.
Yeah, last year we were sitting here, we're talking about veteran leadership on the back end of the defense.
Right.
We found it.
That's right.
Casey Hayward, baby.
This is the final drive of the second half. The deep pass to Henry Ruggs.
Grown man catch, Henry Ruggs.
That's the best corner in the National Football League. You just climbed the ladder on it.
Yes, sir.
3rd and 3.
Oh, man. That play was set up about 2 plays earlier because of the motion. Oh, just great job.
2nd and goal.
Get a fullback from
Is that number 45?
Hey,
Yes, that's right. Marcel, Reece,
With
of course,
the
loving
vertical.
that. All right, gentlemen, Dolphin 2-minute drill.
I was up there. I was in the
Carl
box.
Nassib,
Party at the
Solomon
quarterback.
Thomas. A missed field goal as time expires, 4th and 6. Down a little bit, down by 2. But what'd you see from the team in the first half that you liked? What'd you see that you didn't like so much?
Well, big plays I thought were going to rule the day, and obviously Casey Hayward's safety was an incredible play. Have a corner playing 8 or 9 yards off, puts that foot in the ground and makes a play there. Ruggs climbing the ladder a couple times, and then Renfrow making big plays. Then defensively getting after the quarterback, making sure he kept him right out of field goal range so they couldn't kick that field goal. So I thought for the most part that first half was about big plays.
Absolutely, and also about more resilience from this team. Bad things happen, but you don't get too high or too low over any one play. You continue to play football, trust in your preparation, and see how the chips fall at the end.
Yeah. Sure.
Well, let's see how the chips fall, shall we? Let's show you how the second half went. Of course, we'll take it to the third quarter, 2nd and 3.
That's a good run there. That's a good run.
Outside the pocket, this guy has really, Derek has really elevated his game outside the pocket. Just love to see
That was one of his best plays all day, and it wasn't a far throw. But people have to understand that the composure in the pocket is huge for this team.
Couple of pass
attacking football. Corners attacking the football, time and time again.
EA likes that.
The patience by Barber today, staying in there. He hasn't been with this line for a long time. EA, that is a hard thing to do, and he ran extremely efficient and had some explosive plays today. Here he is in the pass game.
Yeah.
Exactly. Just really impressed by the way he was coming in, and they're really dictating tempo in the second half.
How about Darren Waller getting in on the action yet again? 3rd and 13, prime time.
Accuracy on that ball.
Good for 23 yards, and we take it into the 4th, 2nd and goal. Peyton Barber says, yes, I can fly too.
You can just tell that guy is a football player.
Yeah, for sure. Just so excited about his progress so far early in the season.
A lot of people saying when Josh Jacobs comes back, oh my goodness. How about a Quentin Jefferson sack, shall we?
Party at the
quarterback. Everybody's invited.
4th and 1, Jacoby stuffed on 4th down. Of course, no Tua with fractured ribs as we go 4th and 1 yet again. Jacoby says, I'm going to take it in with 8 seconds left.
Really impressed with how Jacoby played. So thought we'd get after him a little bit more. Really impressed how he kept his team in the game.
32 starts. This guy's had some NFL experience as you take a look at a Will Fuller 2-point conversion. So we go into overtime. Here's the first drive.
Huge catch for a young wide receiver in traffic at a big moment in this game. That kid grew up today.
Ryan Edwards, leading receiver on the day. And Daniel Carlson with a 38-yard field goal. So, Raiders up by 3. It is time for Miami to answer. Mike Gesicki with a 27-yarder as we go to 4th and 2. And the ball game is tied yet again, which means next score wins, gents, right? Okay, so who? 2nd and 15. Who do we throw to? Brian Edwards, good for the 34 yards.
Ice in his veins, EA. Can't see me.
Daniel Carlson, 22-yard field goal as time expired in overtime, lifted Vegas 31-28 over the Miami Dolphins. These are your final game stats brought to you by Sports Water. Take a look. Time of possession, always something I look at. Even when the run game struggles, we still seem to find a way to win in that stat, gentlemen.
Yeah, for sure. 140 yards. Wow. I think a lot of that second half was a change in the running style. It looked a little bit more like Josh, with the kind of the bounces and being able to put that foot in the ground and get up, kind of the patience there. Yes. Really thought that they played particularly well running game-wise once halftime was over.
Well, when you have your bell cow out like Josh Jacobs, the best runner in the league, you have to almost be running back by committee. Kenyon Drake gets a couple carries. We have Barber running, carrying a huge load. Then all of a sudden, Henry Ruggs III gets a fly sweep and a reverse. And you kind of just manufacture a lot of those runs by even short passes or screen plays. So I think we did a tremendous job, John Gruden and that offensive coaching staff along with Tom Cable, of manufacturing enough rushing yards to affect the game and the time of possession, to your point.
Yeah, 30 38 minutes over 31. What did you guys learn about this team, though? Because you kind of talked a little bit about it. Resiliency was something that really came up for me. 25 unanswered points after being down 2 touchdowns in the first quarter. And it really seemed like that safety kind of changed momentum. And it was like a full court press after that. What did you guys feel like you learned?
Well, again, I think this football team is winning in different ways, obviously. And offensively, I thought the first 2 games, I mean, clearly, offensively, they had their way with both football teams, defensively providing pressure. I thought this game, it was a tale of 2 halves. The first half, really slow. Defensively, you get some stops and keep your team in it, and then the offense just took off. So again, we have each other's back, and I think that's incredibly important in this situation. The special teams have always been on point, but again, it's been kind of a tag team this game against Miami. Offense taking its turn, making some big plays, defensively getting after you, causing them sack, push them just out of field goal range. So again, this is what a football team is all about, making sure you have each other's back.
It's extremely important when you see a team win in different ways, to your point, EA. We saw it's hard to win in this football league. And then you lose a turnover battle, and you think you're going to lose. You know, because you lose, it's about, the percentage goes up so much when you lose the turnover battle, EA. But this team stuck with it. We had a bad play on offense, the pick 6. We had the bad play on defense when you had the big run. But the offensive side and defensive side of the ball locked in and took over in the second quarter and the second half of this game.
Resilient. I love that. All right, coming up on the other side of the break, we're going to hear from Coach Gruden on how he thought his squad performed against Miami. That's on the other side of the break. Stick around. Raiders Game Day.
Raiders Game Day is brought to you by America First Credit Union, the official credit union of the Las Vegas Raiders. Allegiant, the official airline of the Las Vegas Raiders. Low fares, nonstop flights. Book now, only at Allegiant.com. Cox, proud partner of the Las Vegas Raiders. And Coors Light, an official beer of Raider Nation made to chill.
Hey John, that's this 3 straight games now that everything started slow and it picked up in the second half. You've been able to tap in at all as to why that's happening. How do you balance that slow start and then being excited about how they ended up finishing in the long run?
Well, I'm always going to be excited with a win. It's a hard league. You know, when you go play Baltimore and you play at Pittsburgh and you play the Miami Dolphins coming off a tough loss, you know, it's tough. I got to do a better job, certainly. We got to do a better job getting our offense going. We had a nice drive early in the game. We threw an interception down there. We had a nice drive against the Ravens, and we had a snap go over our quarterback's head. So we've had 2 of those already. But to answer your question, there's a lot of reasons for why that is. Maybe we're coming out a little bit too excited, or maybe my pregame speeches aren't very good. That probably is it.
That is hilarious. I mean, it is a good point. The last 2 games before the game tonight, they also had a slow start. Can you guys put your finger on perhaps why?
Well, I think it's a filling out process, and when you're not confident in running the football, and this team is based on power running, when you have issues with that, that kind of throws everything else off. But luckily, the motions and everything and the quality and the depth of our receiving core got us through all that stuff.
Yeah, we've been getting through it, but to EA's point, the run game, being a tough running team is our identity as a football team. And when you haven't necessarily hit your groove and found your rhythm in that, it'll take time to catch your stride as a football team. But I'll tell you what, it's not. It's definitely not John Gruden's pregame speeches.
Because they're amazing, they're epic.
Listen, he'll have me ready to run through a wall for him.
I love his jokes. I love the jokes he throws in. Well, the identity could also be, how about the defense? Because Jacoby Brissett, sure, maybe no Tua, but he still brought it. What did you guys see from the defense? E, let's start with you.
Listen, every week it's a different guy up front, except for Max. Max is always the guy. But again, we continually see this wave of guys. They didn't get there much. We should have more passing, interference call, holding calls. But I think when you start to look at it, they're helping that coverage aspect of it. In the coverage, they're attacking attacking the football, making tremendous plays. Here's we see a young player think he's going to get over on the old vet, but again, Casey Hayward comes up with a great play. I had chill bumps, thinking about what that means for him to be able to analyze all that, come up and make a tremendous play.
That changed everything.
It changed everything. Absolutely. And then we start rolling downhill. So their attempt at getting at the ball is really incredible at this point.
Look at Phylon, though. He was in the run game, in the pass game. He showed up. I loved his energy today.
Stuffer.
This defense is playing with a ton of energy and passion. The things that you cannot teach. Those are the things that you have to come out as a player. And let's not forget about 2-7.
Oh,
I was extremely impressed with the way he played football today. He was physical all day. John Gruden told this team that this referee crew is going to let you play. And he took that to heart, and he played hard today. He did have one pass interference, but we'll take that if all game he's playing physical and breaking up passes.
Yeah, I mean, just again and again, just making tremendous plays, and that's what it's all about, making sure you're attacking the football at the big-time level. When you have this here, incredible. One-on-one, end of the game, you're making a play like this. Great catch-up speed and an ability to...
And he knows it.
Yes, exactly.
He said, not in my house. That's what he just said right there.
EC.
Yeah.
That's not easy to do.
No, sir.
Got to catch up, got to track the ball, can't touch him, got to come over, make the play. You don't swing at it, you swat at it. If you swat at it, you'll miss it. So it's like baseball almost. Just kind of put that big man out there. So great job there. 2 sacks today, 7 hits, but more importantly, DBs making plays on the football.
DBs making plays on the football. The secondary, it's interesting because the question that I want to ask you is the growth that you've seen from last year with the guys that were young. Remember, we talked about Jonathan Abram. We talked about just situational football in general. That was a big thing you wanted to see in terms of offseason, in terms of growth from last year to this year. Are you seeing the kind of growth you would want to see in a team like this right now?
Absolutely. The big thing that you can see is you're not seeing the same penalties and the same mistakes over and over and over again.
Right.
You may see it one time, and then you grow up and you learn from it. And we can take that as a football team. We're not seeing them happen over and over again, and that is very important for our football team right now.
Yeah, maturity.
Sure.
Maturity.
Absolutely.
Well, how about Denzel Perryman? Because 14
You made another
total
tackle. You made another tackle. You made another tackle right now.
I'll say this. Denzel Perryman is setting the tone for this defense. When he hits these guys on the other team, they are feeling it. Jacoby Brissett, he got him today. He got the running back today. He is hitting them, tattooing guys on the other team, and that is what I like to see from our linebackers.
Yeah, it's so important to have that stable person who's going to control and make contact in the middle of the football field and continue to have those double-digit numbers in tackles. And remember, guys, he came in training camp late, understands the Chargers. He's kind of the captain on that defense. You think about having a captain in the last week before you go into regular season play, and he's really made an incredible difference. He's been the heartbeat. Look at that. I mean, he's been the heartbeat,
He just made
the physical contact.
Jacoby pay for that run.
That's right.
He just taxed him right there.
You make that player make a business decision. And there's nothing like having that guy in the middle of your defense who can make an offensive player have snot come out of his nose when he hits you. There's nothing compared to that. And we also have KJ Wright playing huge plays for us.
Corey Littleton stepped up today, had some plays.
Had some really good plays today.
That's right.
Pass breakups, and he had a big hit as well.
For sure.
So when you have that guy who is setting the tone in the middle of your defense, he starts to bring everyone else along with him, starts to bring the best out of everyone. And that is what being a great teammate and being a leader is all about.
I love that you just said that. It does feel like the energy is contagious. You see one guy do it, then everybody seems to kind of jump in, right?
Absolutely.
And Denzel Perryman, a guy with Gus Bradley. I want to talk about Gus Bradley. We don't have enough time. But I love breaking down stuff with these guys. In fact, coming up next for you folks at home, Eric, Marcel, they are breaking down the young pass catchers who came up big for Derek Carr. That's next. Stick around. The Raiders, now the first team in NFL history to win each of their first 3 games of a season, all against teams with 10-plus wins in the prior season. That is my stat of the day, and largely, of course, thanks to our receivers who made some tough catches today. EA, my guy Marcel, can you break down what you saw from the young wideouts today, guys?
Yes, we can, EC. And again, you're talking about contested catches. What you have to have in contested catches, your quarterback has to be confident in you, throwing the ball in the right spot. But ultimately, it's up to the receivers to make sure they go up and grab it.
Absolutely. Playing with confidence, playing with toughness.
Carr unleashes
DC under pressure. You can't start off with a better catch than this. Come on, EA. This is tough. How can you defend this? I mean, Hunter Renfrow, the focus to have his eyes on the ball the entire time, flexibility to slide and hands to just catch the ball.
And then go to your guy. In between two dynamic defenders. Again, this is the best defensive secondary in the National Football League. Great patience at the line of scrimmage, setting them up.
Great patience, great physicality, keeps his body in between the defender and the ball, and that's how you make contested catches.
Oh, for sure. Under duress, DC under duress. He understands where his receiver has to be. You run a little corner route. This is a young football player.
If you see him, he sees the ball, then runs full speed, sees the ball again, and catches it at the highest point, even when he's running. That is tough to defend, almost impossible to defend when the ball is perfect like that. One guy we didn't show today in this cut-up is Henry Ruggs III, who made tremendous contested catches down the field, and all these receivers are growing up right before our eyes.
Back to you, EC.
They really are. You know what? It's trust. It is trust from Derek Carr. In fact, coming up next, we're going to hear from the quarterback himself. Stick around. We will be right back. Look at that guy. He's having a good old time.
Yeah, I feel a little better this time.
Derek, getting to 3-0 has been a little bit of a stumbling block over the years for the Raiders. You got here, not only that, but it's 3 AFC teams. You had to show a lot of resiliency to win all 3 games. What does it say about this team that might be a little bit different than teams in the past in that regard?
Yep. You know, in college we used to say, let's go play for 4 quarters or as long as it takes to win, you know. And that's just been something I just bought into from when Pat Hill and the coaches were saying that in Fresno State. So we have a good football team. We've yet to play, you know, great on all 3 phases altogether. We haven't even played our best football. You know, I'm sitting there with Coach Gruden in the locker room after the game, after he talked to us. I'm like, man, this play, that play, this, I messed that up. You know, and he's like, dude, you're all right. You know, we threw the ball well. We'll correct that tomorrow. You know, but that's the mindset. It's just that we keep the process, keep going, and that we try and do whatever it takes. You know, play as long as it takes to win the football game. And so far, we've been able to win 3 of them, and that's a good start.
Well, Derek Carr, now the 4th quarterback in NFL history with 1,200 or more passing yards in the first 3 games of the season. Impressive, okay? And one of the guys that helped him get there, and definitely one of Derek's favorite targets on 3rd down. How about Hunter Renfrow? He always seems to move the chains once again when the Raiders need it most. Guys, number 13. Let's talk about him as we show you highlights from Mr. Renfrow. Why is he so good?
Let me tell you something. Hunter Renfrow is a Raider. He is the epitome of a Raider right now. He is tough, he is smart, he is resilient, and he's going to do whatever it takes to help this team win. He can run all the routes in the route tree. He can block, he does block, and he just plays great football.
Yeah, his lateral movement, quickness, his anticipation, his ability to leverage the defender, understanding where he needs to be at a certain time. So he may start off his route inside, then bounce it outside, but he's going to be in the right spot when the ball is there. His hand-eye coordination, you see that? That's called being Renfrow. That's what that is. That's called being Renfrow.
Because why? What happened?
Because his lateral movement and his attacking of the DB's leverage. So if I have outside leverage, he's going to attack that leverage. And so now I'm thinking to myself, if I'm a DB, man, I have to make sure I scoot over and get on that outside shoulder. And all of a sudden, he's inside. And it was an inside route all the time.
Is it because he's just a shifty guy?
No, it's not just about his physical ability. Hunter Renfrow is not the fastest guy. He's not the biggest or the tallest guy, but he's carved out this niche for himself to be an extremely smart football player. So he takes advantage of what he can on you, which is your leverage. Yeah. If you're inside on him, he's going to make you feel like he's going inside, and then he goes outside. And he has this mind game that he plays with people, and you always guess wrong on him. Yeah. He has a certain slinkiness about him in his body and his movements where he's hard to tackle, and he's extremely crafty route runner.
Yeah. He's just, it's like every time, third down, no brainer. It's going to him and he converts. It's crazy.
Looks like you're accountant, but you can't tackle him.
No, you can't.
I want to talk real quick about Henry Ruggs and what you saw in terms of his growth. Real quick, I mean, what does he bring to the table? Because we talk about growth from year 1 to year 2. Yes. This is a guy that's using motion. He lined up everywhere possible week 1 in Carolina, remember, last year? What are you seeing in terms of growth real quick from Henry Ruggs? He deserves a talk, too.
Yeah, for sure. First of all, it's his athleticism and his ability to be lined up in all different spots on the football field that makes you a dynamic player, both mentally and physically. You love the part that you'll be able to throw him a ball. He can climb the ladder and go get it. He can run by you. He can be shifty. You can line up in the backfield. He's just a dynamic football player that's really hitting his peak right now.
Another tough young receiver that we have on our team. I'm watching him today. He's going down there trying to dig out the safety on all the blocking plays. You see, listen, no matter what you think a receiver has to do to grow, Henry Ruggs III has the ultimate equalizer, speed. He is the fastest man on the field no matter who we play. Yeah. So he can threaten anyone and everyone at any point in time in a game and absolutely change the game. And we're starting to use that to our advantage, which I'm extremely happy to see. And he's making tough catches in traffic. He's making tough catches down the field. Like you say, EA, climbing the ladder on guys.
Love that.
I'm excited about Henry Ruggs III, man.
Absolutely.
He is really coming into his own.
I'm also excited on what we saw from Peyton Barber because the run game struggled certainly early on. And he showed up when we needed Peyton Barber to show up. We're showing you a Hunter Renfrow highlight. But when we do get you Peyton Barber running games, he was available in the pass game. He was available in the run game. Guys, what'd you see?
That's what it's all about in this offense, being able to be versatile, being able to catch it when you need to, and then being able to change. I thought he just tweaked his running style just a little bit in the second half, more of a darting kind of set you up like Josh Jacobs, like that's there. You start off like going into that B gap, then pop back into the A gap. I thought that was very useful.
You sound like a defensive guy talking run games.
I really love that.
But to your point, EA, what it is he's extremely, he was more patient in the second half. He was patient. He was
Is that what that was?
He was allowing the blocks to set themselves up. Right here, you see right here, he's just going over the top and being an athlete, being a football player, saying, listen, I want to get in the paint, so let's get in the paint. You know, he's going over the top. He stays very patient, and even in that, and then he jumps late. That's what you have to do. You let your fullback go and lead the way, and you jump over a pile. But to your point, in the second half, he was setting up the run. He rolled his way through and then exploded through the hole. And that's what you have to do as a runner. The hole may be there as soon as you get the handoff, but you can't just go into it because that linebacker can make his play. But if you go the opposite way and allow your lineman to move up to the second level, that's when you start to go from efficient runs, which is 4+, to explosive runs, which are 8+. And you start to see that happen and develop in the second half of this football game.
100 yards total and a touchdown. Not too shabby. And then the scary part, when Josh Jacobs comes back, I don't even want to talk about what's going to go down. All right, we still have plenty more to talk about. Raiders' big win over the Dolphins. Stick around, Raiders Game Day. We'll be right back.
We'll take that. You gotta keep stacking them. One game at a time. No matter how you win, get that done.
Man, well learned, bro. Feeling good, man. 3-0, baby. Let's go.
Baby, 3-0, baby. Keep it going. Gotta keep it going.
after that big 31-28 win against the Dolphins. You saw the reaction. Like, it just puts a smile on your face when you're part of Raider Nation. How do you think the guy, I mean, how does it feel?
Just spectacular.
Yeah.
I'm talking about the team, the fans, the stadium. Time and time again, it continues to show up, and it's all great. You know, the stadium has continued to, like, represent itself. Las Vegas comes out and support.
Yes.
So, again, the team is playing very, very well right now.
Yeah.
I think we've represented ourselves well to begin this season for the city of Las Vegas and the state of Nevada. Welcome to Raider football and the Raider Nation. There's going to be excitement, and most of all, we got some wins under our belts.
That's right.
3-0 to start this season. Fantastic.
Absolutely. Raiders are on a roll, and a guy that is a big part of that role is Hunter Renfrow. He caught up with the media after the game. Let's hear from number 13.
Hunter, getting to 3-0 has been a stumbling block for the Raiders over the years. They haven't done it since 2002. What about this team is different that allowed you? In a lot of ways, maybe you lose a game like this in the past, but you guys found a way to win. What does that say differently about this team?
We're resilient. You know, we could lose the next 14 and go 3-14. So we still have a lot of work to do. I think we understand that. We appreciate each other. We appreciate the work everyone puts in. And the biggest thing that jumps out at me is we care about each other and we're selfless. I think that's huge. Being on a team like that, I've been on some good teams in college and high school and whatever, but, you know, selflessness and love is the two main ingredients, and I feel like we have that.
Reaction to that?
Plays like a Raider, sounds like a Raider. Great teammate, you can already tell, and phenomenal football player. Proud of him.
This team has a vibe to the teams of yesteryear, and it's really important that they kind of continue that and continue to challenge each other in practice and make sure you're taking care of yourself on those off days, guys.
Yes.
These guys in the tub, taking care of your body so you can
Yes.
play on Sunday and Monday.
And I like that he said, it feels good right now, but let's pump the brakes because we could go 3-14. I like that humility in knowing that we still have some more work to do.
Just respect for the game. You have to respect the game. It is hard to win in this football league, and you can tell that Hunter Renfrow is a guy who understands and respects that aspect of the NFL.
Speaking of respect for the game, coming up, guys, Raiders celebrating a very special Hall of Famer during the half. A ring celebration for a very respected individual in Raider Nation. We'll talk about it after the break.
This segment of Raiders Game Day has been brought to you by America First Credit Union, the official credit union of the Las Vegas Raiders.
Me and my dad went to our local church and helped with our food drive. I know it would be really hard if I didn't have any food on my table.
To be a leader is to me, helping people when they need help. When I help others, I love how I make them feel.
I try to be as good of a person when I'm on the field and off the field. It would be really nice to just help someone out.
First Latino player ever to start in the NFL at quarterback, the first minority coach to win a Super Bowl, and look at the doors that he opened there. So Tom Flores, I'm going to put his name out there. This coach deserves his place in Canton.
During a Hall of Fame-worthy career, highlighted by his ability to break barriers, Tom Flores made his mark as one of the greatest NFL head coaches to ever grace the sidelines.
People are always giving guys credit for their X's and O's, but being a head coach is just much more than that. It's managing people. I think ultimately the thing that really created closeness was that he trusted us.
All right, we know it has to be done, and we know how to do it.
In the Super Bowl, in Super Bowl 18, we're on the biggest stage. And I came over to Tom and I said, Tom, out and up, I can beat this guy. Ken Coffey can't cover me. The end of the story would be great, which is that I caught a 50-yard touchdown pass. It was incomplete. It didn't work.
Christensen was the intended receiver. Nothing doing as Ken Coffey was back there with him.
But the fact that he trusted a player enough to be willing to make the call, how could that not endear you to a head coach?
The gentle but firm leadership style employed by Coach Flores during his 9-year tenure as the Raiders head coach helped him earn 3 AFC West titles, 2 Super Bowl championships, and the second most wins in franchise history, following directly behind his predecessor, John Madden.
We always said Tom had a different coaching style than John Madden because John was a very physical presence on the side, roaring up and down the field, where Tom was more cool and collected. And his approach was a lot different for John, but he was a great leader.
There was a lot of trust, there was a lot of love, and Coach Flores' teams always won.
We were the best team. We deserve to be world champions. I'm proud of you.
So cool. Sunday's halftime was a silver and black celebration, paying tribute to Raiders legendary coach and recent Hall of Fame enshrinee, Tom Flores. And it's cool to see all of those guys that are talking about him because he basically made all those guys legendary in their own right.
Yes.
What do you think the impact Tom Flores has had on Raider Nation? What does he mean to, what does his legacy mean?
Yeah, the coolness, the under control on the sideline, but his team played with a great fire, a great energy that burned inside, and he was solely responsible for that, and his legacy is still shining bright today.
Yeah. Coach Flores is one of those guys that, speaks off and carry a big stick. And what I mean by that is every player I talk to from Cliff Branch to Plunkett, they all say that you never heard him yell, but everyone always respected him. And that says so much about a coach and so proud of him and so happy for him and the entire Raider Nation for him to finally, long overdue, get his due and be inducted in the Pro Football Hall of Fame in Canton. We were out there in Canton in August, EA and Costco, and it was an unbelievable feeling to see the entire Raider Nation show up. Coach Flores was there. You had the First Lady of the entire Raider Nation, Carol Davis, Mama Davis, speaking on his behalf and inducting him. Mark Davis putting the coat on him. It was an unbelievable, fantastic feeling for the entire Raider Nation.
And I love that you said it was a long time coming, certainly. All right, coming up next, we're talking AFC West. What else happened around the division? Some surprises. We'll explain. Don't go anywhere.
This segment of Raiders Game Day has been brought to you by Coca-Cola, the official soft drink of the Las Vegas Raiders.
Set. Operating out of his own end zone. His team is up 14-0. He will throw it. Oh, the catch and blasted Jalen Waddle at a safety.
Casey Hayward, safety. How big of a play was that, Yee?
Oh, man, I just love that. The anticipation to be able to make that play. And you got to understand that could have been a pump and go. It could have been beat for a touchdown, but he has so much confidence in what he's doing, his film preparation, made an outstanding play.
Being the veteran that Casey Hayward Jr. is, he's seen that play before. He watched film and saw that play. He baited Jacoby Brissett and hit it at the right time. That's one of those momentum changers right there.
It was for sure.
Veteran move, for sure. And like you said, it changed the momentum, scored 25 unanswered points after that. Let's hear from Casey Hayward on that play. Take it away, Case.
Like that?
I think so. Right before that play, I talked to Trey. I'm like, somebody got to make a play. And it just ended up happening to be me. I think it was a momentum shifter. After that, we kind of got it going. Offense got it going a little bit more. Defense started playing a little faster, with a little bit more urgency. And, this is what we do. We came out victorious. Obviously, in the fourth quarter, we wish we could make some of those plays on the fourth downs and things like that. But as a team, we fought and won the game. That's what it's about.
All right, what else went down in the AFC West? A little surprising. The Chargers beat the Chiefs in their house at Arrowhead, beat them 32-24. Very surprising indeed. The Broncos are now still undefeated, 3-0, 26-0 against the Jets. And of course, we took it to the Miami Dolphins. So the Broncos and the Raiders undefeated. We've got a 2-game lead on the Chiefs. What are you guys most surprised about?
I'm laughing because I know Marcel is going to call somebody about the Denver Broncos.
How did they get such an easy schedule early on in the season? But that is okay. Listen, I am worried about the Las Vegas Raiders. And one thing I did, and I'm sure, EA, you know like I know, when you come out here and you play AFC teams, those games count as almost 2 when it comes down to the playoff run.
Yeah,
I know I'm getting a little ahead of myself,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm a big picture guy.
Right.
When you play these AFC teams, you have to make sure you can take advantage and win those games when you have opportunities to win them. And right now, we're in a spot where we can continue to stack these wins up, especially these AFC wins.
Yeah, for sure. It's going to be a big game coming up on Monday against the Chargers. And they have some very productive skill position players.
Ooh.
And we're going to have to be ready.
It's going to be a tough matchup.
Yeah,
but this is good for our football team.
This is what it's
it
about.
Doesn't matter what happens. It doesn't matter where they play, whether it's San Diego
Carlson.
or L.A. or Carson or in the middle of any parking lot. We don't like the Chargers, and we have to beat up on them.
That's right, for sure.
All right. Well, real quick, before, of course, we talk week 4, we need to close out week 3. It is time for Who You Got, a Monday Night Football matchup with EA's Eagles and the Cowboys. I'll go first. I'm going with the Cowboys. Cowboys looking good. I'm sorry, E. We're still friends after this.
Come on.
But
now.
I'm 1-0.
I couldn't go with the Cowboys if the Eagles were 0-15, the Cowboys were undefeated. I could never, ever go with the Cowboys. So it's Eagles all day.
Can the reigning champion speak, please?
What?
Wait a second. I think you might not have been that by the end of last year.
Yeah. All those
think
picks you had. I don't think you were. I think EA was.
Hey, Marcus and Peyton,
top.
we need to get my trophy out here. Stats.
So you're going with the Cowboys.
I'm going with the
All
Cowboys.
right, so it's a 2-1. Who you got? I'm sorry, E, you're going to take an L this week. But coming up next, Silver and Black have another Monday Night Football matchup we discuss. That's next week.
How y'all playing me like that?
This segment of Raiders Game Day has been brought to you by Twitch Watch. Discover. Join in. Raiders Game Day has been brought to you by Twitch Watch. Discover. Join in. By Credit One Bank, the official credit card of the Raiders. Allegiant, the official airline of the Las Vegas Raiders. Low fares, nonstop flights. Book now, only at Allegiant.com. Modelo, a taste that's pure gold. Brewed for those with a fighting spirit.
Welcome back into Raiders Game Day. The Raiders hopefully looking to make it 4-0 next week. Of course, they're taking on the Chargers in Los Angeles. Guys, back-to-back home games basically for the Raiders as they go to LA.
There you go.
But they're coming off a nail-biter, a confidence booster against the Chiefs, right?
Yep.
Huge win for the Chargers on the road at Arrowhead. What makes the Chargers so dangerous?
Again, we see these highlights, but I go to the turnovers. They had 4 turnovers against the Kansas City Chiefs. Their defensive backfield, led by Derwin James, pretty spectacular player, very productive. Asante Samuels Jr. already has 2 interceptions. Yeah. So they're getting after the football. That's what concerns me about this Chargers football team.
They have really good skill players. They always have really good skill players, offensively and defensively. But what we have to do is worry about playing Raider brand of football, playing hard football, playing resilient football, playing tough football. We have to stretch the field more than they stretch the field next week, and we have the guys to do it.
We do want to introduce a new segment called the Nightcap, a cool thing that happened in the NFL. I'm going to say the Justin Tucker 66-yard field goal that left Lion fans just like shaking my head yet again, because he made this an NFL record. Lions lost 1917. But
congratulations to my guy, Coastal Triton, Pop Warner. Okay. Return kickoff. Kick 6. Jamal Agnew. Took it to the house. That's my guy. I coached him in Little League.
Heads up play. Very good situational football. But for me, listen.
What's yours? What's yours, Sal?
We had the Raider chant in Las Vegas, Nevada today, and it was loud and fantastic in there. I'm going with Alec Ingold.
Right.
Of course you were.
Spider 2 Y banana touchdown. Get a fullback some love, baby. Alec Ingold in the end zone. We're staying with the Raiders for my nightcap. Get in the end zone. Hey, Alec, get with me. We're going to work on that vertical leap to jump in the black hole, baby. I got you.
And that's it. That's a wrap. Raiders looking to go 4-0. Gentlemen, thank you very much. We'll see you next week.
See you.